This is a News 3 Now special report.
Thanks for watching this special report from Channel 3000. Of the more than 3,000 cases of COVID-19 now in Wisconsin, more than 900 need hospitalization. That's about 29%. Here in Dane County, now with 324 confirmed cases, 12 deaths, it looks like the numbers show a bit of a plateau. Public health workers say they are cautiously optimistic. Now compare that graph to Milwaukee County. More than 1,600 cases, 77 deaths. Numbers still showing a pretty steep rise. Data still shows the virus disproportionately affecting African Americans. DHS says that's an issue experts are seeing across the state. Now there are more than 3,000 cases being reported. 128 people have died. And today Polk County reported its first case. Brown County and Grant County each reporting their first deaths. Governor Evers urging people to step up and volunteer. More than half of Wisconsin's 133 hospitals reported today they have less than a week's supply of goggles and gowns worn when treating the pandemic. More than a third of hospitals are also reporting they have less than a week's worth of face shields, N95 masks, and paper masks. Wisconsin, like many other states, faces a shortage of personal protective equipment vital to healthcare workers on the front lines. Governor Evers and members of administration have said supplies they are receiving from the national stockpile will not come close to meeting the need. UW-Madison canceling all face-to-face summer non-credit programs and activities now, with the exception of a few that are able to run using distance learning technology. UW-Madison moved summer for credit courses online to alternative modes of instruction. Campus events and meetings are canceled through May 15th. The economic impact of all this getting worse every day, affecting households all over the U.S. These newest numbers reveal 16.8 million Americans have filed for unemployment benefits since mid-March, nearly wiping out the more than 18 million jobs created in the past 11 years. That is the largest and fastest string of U.S. job losses in generations. Dozens of economists say there's no need to worry about an upcoming recession. 45 of them in a survey say we're already in a recession. They believe it'll stay that way for the first half of the year. That survey done by the National Association of Business Economics points to the pandemic, of course, as the problem here and predicts a spike in unemployment, a decline in spending, and a dip in the economic growth rate. Still, though, economists are optimistic that things will bounce back in the second half of 2020. The president said today it appears the death toll in the U.S. will be lower than projected in touted progress in some major cities, but task force officials still urge caution and say some areas must still prepare for a surge. While some White House advisors indicated they'd like to see the economy open next month, health experts have said widespread testing will be key to returning to normal. The Surgeon General talked about steps the administration is taking to help communities of color disproportionately impacted by coronavirus.
I need you to know you are not helpless, and it's even more important that in communities of color, we adhere to the task force guidelines to slow the spread.
As lawmakers negotiate additional relief funding, the administration says stimulus checks will start going out next week to eligible individuals who have direct deposit set up with the IRS. Starting next week, the IRS says you will be able to track your payments. The state assembly plans to meet in a virtual extraordinary session on Tuesday. They'll take up coronavirus relief legislation. Republican leaders in Wisconsin have been working on the bill with the governor, who said earlier that he would veto the GOP's latest proposal because it gives the Republican-controlled Budget Committee authority to cut state spending. Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steineke tweeted that those provisions now have been cut. Wisconsin U.S. Senators Tammy Baldwin and Ron Johnson are calling on the Postal Service to look into what happened to missing absentee ballots here in Wisconsin. In a letter to the Inspector General, the senators cite numerous accounts from the state that the Postal Service failed to fulfill its critical mission of getting all those ballots in the hands of voters. The Wisconsin Elections Commission reported that nearly 1.3 million absentee ballots had been requested by voters. About 235,000 had not yet been returned as of yesterday. State officials reported 3 tubs of ballots from Oshkosh and Appleton were discovered at a mail processing center. The Milwaukee Election Commission has also called for an investigation into a separate set of undelivered ballots.